Hi, I'm Lynn, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite things, peach ginger ice cream. Every time they're at their peak of freshness, I want to use them to their fullest, so I make ice cream. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to peel and slice up your peaches. I used about 5 of them, and I just wanted to show you something real quick. So a really easy way to peel them is if you score them with a knife, and then you blanch them. So just put them in really hot water, almost boiling, for, I don't know, 30 seconds until you start to see those corners peel back a little bit, and you'll see how easy it is to peel that off. Now, if the peaches are really ripe and you think they're going to be easy to peel, I would still score them because it gives you a place to kind of grab and peel. So let's see, so it'll take a second. Okay, this looks good to go. So I'm just going to turn off the flame. And as you can see, it's already started to peel back, which is great. So look how easy that comes off now. Super awesome. Now, if your peaches aren't ripe when you buy them, like I bought these at the farmer's market and they weren't quite ripe, so I put them in a paper bag for a couple of days. Just don't forget they're in there. I did that once and it wasn't pretty. Anyway, so sometimes if it's easy, I just pull it off like that, take the seed out. Just make sure there's nothing kind of like spiny in here, but these are super ripe, so they're awesome. So I'm just going to cut them into small pieces. Don't cut them too small because remember, this is going to freeze. So if it's too small, then it will get too crunchy. So you want decent sized chunks of it when you bite into it. All right, so that's that. Just put them in the bowl. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to add some sugar. Again, this is based on how ripe your peaches are. So I'm only going to put in about a 1/4 cup of sugar because these are really ripe. And then I'm going to put in the juice of half a lime. Give it a little tartness. I'm just going to mix this in. And then I'm going to put these in the refrigerator for about an hour to let them macerate. So they'll be like, you know, when your grandmother puts up peaches and you have them in the off season, that's what these taste like. The sugar just seeps right in and also brings the sweetness of the peaches out. So, and it also kind of draws out some of the water that you wouldn't necessarily want to be in the ice cream. And you'll see that when we look at these again, they might have a little bit of water at the bottom. So I'm just going to put these in the fridge for about an hour. So while the peaches are macerating in the refrigerator, we're going to make the custard base to our ice cream. So you're going to put 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of cream, 3/4 cup of sugar, and a pinch of salt. So we're going to bring this to a simmer. What I'm also going to include is half a vanilla bean. So you just want to split your bean. It's a little bit tricky, and then scrape out the inside. Put that in. Scrape out a little bit more. Don't cut your finger. Okay, you've got that scraped out, and then just put the whole half bean in there as well. And that's going to steep some beautiful vanilla flavor in there. Okay, that's almost ready, but what we're going to do now is we're going to add the sugar to our egg yolks and blend that in good. Okay, and now we're going to temper our eggs. So you can't pour the eggs right into the cream because your eggs will scramble. So you have to slowly introduce the cream into your eggs. Keep it going so they don't scramble. So you're going to do this, I don't know, 4 to 5 ladles full. So at this point, you can pour it back into the rest and just stir that together. And what you want to do is you want to just put the flame back on for about another minute or so until it just slightly thickens. It doesn't have to get thick like pudding. just slightly thicken. Keep stirring just so that it doesn't burn on the bottom. And then typically you'd have to put this in the fridge for, I don't know, a couple hours until it cools off completely. But I can't really wait that long. So what I like to do is I put it in a ice bath, put it in a bowl, put that bowl in the ice bath, and put it in the refrigerator. So within a half hour, it should be ready to put into the ice cream maker. What I do is I'll pop it into the fridge every 10 minutes, give it a stir, see how it's doing. Okay, so you can see how this has started to thicken just slightly, and that's good enough. We are now ready to take our custard and start cooling it down. Now, depending on how strong a vanilla flavor you want, you could fish out your vanilla bean now, which is what I'm going to do. Or if you want a stronger vanilla flavor, you could leave it in the whole time it's cooling down. It's up to you. So now I'm going to put this in my ice bath and put this in the fridge and keep an eye on it. And as soon as it's room temperature, we're going to throw this bad boy in the ice cream maker. Okay, this is now room temperature, and we're going to pour it in the ice cream maker. Basically, this base has been in the freezer, so it's nice and cold. Just going to pour this in. Yum. Make sure you don't waste any of it. Okay. So you're just going to turn your ice cream maker on based on your manufacturer's directions. I found that it takes about 25 minutes or so. But right when you start to see it thicken, that's when you're going to add your peach. And I'm going to put some candied ginger in there too. Okay, so we're about 5 minutes away from soft serve texture, which is when you want to put it in the freezer. Normally I would just keep this going and add in these ingredients, but just so you can hear me, I've turned that off for a second. So here we're going to enter in our candied ginger, which I've cut into small pieces, but again, not too fine. And then here's our macerated peaches. You can see that there's a lot of liquid that's come into this. So you don't want that liquid to go in there because it might make the ice cream too soupy. So I just use a slotted spoon. And I'm going to turn this on now, and I'm just going to mix in a little bit at a time. I probably won't use all of this, maybe about 2/3, but it's all up to you how much you want in there. So I'm going to let this go for about another 5 minutes until, again, it's like a soft serve consistency. Then I'm going to put it into a container and freeze it for about 4 hours. And then we'll be ready to eat it. So here we have our delicious ginger peach ice cream, garnished with some of the extra macerated peaches and some candied ginger.